Learning to Befriend the Ego, a hypnotherapist's perspective on the balance between spirit and body. As a hypnotherapist specializing in past life regression, I often guide clients to connect with their deeper aspect of the soul while helping them understand how the spiritual dimensions interact with the everyday life. One of the most profound realizations I've encountered in this work is the relationship between the ego and the soul, a relationship that, if nurtured correctly, can lead to more enjoyable and fulfilling life. Instead of fighting and suppressing the ego, we should learn to befriend it, fostering a collaborative between our spirit and deeper desires and our ego's protective instincts. Number 1, to understand the ego and the soul's different perspectives. The ego is a mental construct that emerges as we grow. It is the part of us that understands we are an individual, separate from others, and it develops to protect us. Picture the ego as an overprotective guardian, like a caring aunt or a vigilant mother, constantly evaluating what the safety or harmful for us based on early experiences. Now let's contrast this with the soul, a boundless, expansive essence that craves growth, love, and adventure. The soul sees life as a journey full of lessons and potentials. It seeks joy, curiosity, fulfillment beyond the limitations of the physical body. However, these two perspectives can clash. The soul yearns for love, growth, exploration, while the ego might cling to familiar comfort, viewing new experiences as potentially threatening. The clash of the soul's higher desires and the ego's self-protection tendencies often lead to inner conflict, blocking us from truly flourishing. The role of the ego in shaping beliefs and behaviors. Our ego absorbs beliefs and patterns from our early experience, shaping how we approach it. For example, if you experience a lack of nurturing in childhood, your ego might conclude that love is painful or dangerous. Even if, as an adult, you long for a deep and loving relationship, your ego might push you to avoid it, triggering avoidant behavior that keeps you safe from potential hurt. Familiarly and similarly, the ego's influence can extend to the health habits. It might steer you towards serious pleasures, sensory pleasures such as unhealthy foods, because they bring immediate comfort, even though your logic tells you otherwise. If exercise or healthy eating feels uncomfortable or uninteresting, your ego might resist these habits, prioritizing immediately gratification over long-term wellness. Personal growth, too, can be hindered by the ego's overprotectiveness. While the soul craves new experiences, friendships, and potential expansion, the ego may resist, out of it being deemed the world to be an unsafe or threatening. Old beliefs implanted from early experiences reinforce the avoidance, leaving your spirit's true desires unfulfilled. Bridging this divide and building a harmonious relationship between the ego and soul. What if you could soothe the ego's fears, helping it trust in the soul's journey rather than resist it? It is possible. There are simple but powerful techniques to help align the ego and the soul, encouraging them to work as allies rather than adversaries. One effective approach involves using sensory-based techniques to add to the ego's directly meeting it in a way and understanding it. By calming the ego through physical relaxation and grounding practices, the affirmations of safety, we can gradually retrain it. The goal is not to dismiss the ego's role, but to allow it to support the soul's desires, fostering a partnership rather than a growth struggle. When we approach life in this way, balancing our spiritual aspirations with the ego's needs for safety, habit, change, and personal growth become far smoother. This harmonious relationship between body and spirit makes it easier to cultivate new habits, embrace healthy relationships, and pursue a fulfilling path in life. Moving toward a life of harmony and fulfillment. Combining the strength of both the ego and the soul is transformative. By befriending the ego and gently guiding it to trust the spirit's vision, we create a life that is not only more peaceful, but genuinely aligned with our true desires instead of battling inner resistance. We learn to thrive with each part of us playing a supportive role in our journey. As a past life regression hypnotherapist, I have seen firsthand how the approach changes lives. Clients find themselves moving toward their goals with less inner conflict, more self-acceptance, and greater fulfillment. They discover that by nurturing both the physical and spiritual part of themselves, they can truly create a life of growth, of peace and joy, one that aligns with their deepest soul desires. This brings a true path and meaning to their life with satisfaction.